Giants controlled Earth for 1 minute, and then it was almost silent. A colossal asteroid struck Earth, unleashing tsunamis, firestorms, and a blanket of darkness that consumed the planet. Within hours, ecosystems crumbled, and species that had dominated for millions of years vanished almost instantly. This episode examines the events of the day the dinosaurs died. Around 66 million years ago, high above what's now Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, a massive asteroid raced through space toward Earth, traveling over 45,000 miles per hour, and carried unimaginable power. Its impact would release energy equal to 100 trillion tons of dynamite, or 100 million megatons, billions of times stronger than any nuclear bomb humanity has ever created. The dinosaurs, unfortunately, hadn't evolved the instinct or ability to duck, hide, or protect themselves. After a 60-hour journey through space, the asteroid finally reached Earth, blazing brighter than the sun as it hurtled toward the Yucatan Peninsula. Visible for only a few fleeting seconds, it streaked across the sky before a blinding flash illuminated the planet, marking the moment of impending catastrophe. The asteroid's incredible speed compressed and superheated the air ahead of it, creating intense frictional heat. This searing energy allowed the rock to punch straight through Earth's atmosphere, tearing it apart and unleashing a devastating supersonic shockwave that raced outward, an explosion of power and destruction, even before the asteroid actually struck the planet. An instant later, the massive space rock slammed into Earth with unimaginable force, striking just off the coast in the shallow waters of the Gulf of America, what we now call the Gulf of Mexico. The collision site would become ground zero for one of the most catastrophic events in the planet's entire history. Moment of impact. The asteroid struck Earth with apocalyptic force. To put it in perspective, the little boy bomb dropped on Hiroshima had a yield of only 15 kilotons, or 15,000 tons of TNT, killing nearly 250,000 people. This asteroid, however, unleashed an explosion over 6,600 times greater, beyond anything imaginable. No humans saw it, but its destructive power marked just the beginning of global devastation. The asteroid's colossal impact drove it deep into Earth's crust, carving out an enormous crater nearly 120 miles, 193 kilometers wide, and 19 miles, 30 kilometers deep. Today, that ancient scar is known as the Chicxulub crater, its center hidden beneath the Gulf waters, just offshore from Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, a silent reminder of the day the world changed forever. When the asteroid struck the ocean and the bedrock beneath, its hundreds of millions of megatons of energy were instantly unleashed. The immense force vaporized the massive space rock on impact, along with everything nearby, creating an explosion so intense that matter itself turned to gas in a blinding instant. Within seconds, everything in the vicinity, from living creatures to thousands of cubic miles of rock, was instantly boiled away. The asteroid's sudden release of thermal radiation incinerated any prehistoric life that witnessed the impact. Traveling at the speed of light, the searing energy burns everything within nearly 1,000 miles, 1,609 kilometers radius, leaving nothing alive and reducing forests, plants, and animals alike to ashes in an instant. Trees and other vegetation near the impact ignited instantly, reduced to cinders within seconds. The intense heat was so extreme that even the bedrock beneath the crater began to melt, transforming into a scorching, molten mass. The immediate surroundings were utterly devastated, consumed by fire and molten rock in an overwhelming display of destructive power. As the asteroid drove into Earth's crust, it displaced the waters of the Gulf of America like a massive stone dropped into a puddle, sending waves surging outward in all directions. At the same time, superheated rock was blasted skyward, forming a temporary mountain miles high. The sheer force hurled ash, molten debris, and shattered crust into the atmosphere, with some fragments traveling so far they escaped Earth's gravity entirely, shooting into space. The immediate region was transformed into a chaotic storm of fire, rock, and vapor, demonstrating the unimaginable power of the impact. In short, the moment the asteroid hit, chaos erupted instantly. Fires, shockwaves, and destruction tore through the surrounding land and seas, minutes after impact. The blast didn't only affect nearby dinosaurs, it triggered a catastrophic chain reaction leading to mass extinction. In coastal regions, the asteroid's impact created enormous tsunamis, which worsened when the temporary mountain of displaced rock collapsed back into the ocean, pushing water outward with immense force. Waves reaching up to 1,000 feet, 305 meters, surged across the seas, devastating coastlines, submerging vast landmasses and drowning the shores of multiple continents. The combination of seismic shock, massive flooding, and violent displacement of water ensured that the destruction extended far beyond the immediate impact zone, affecting ecosystems worldwide. Even creatures far from the impact felt its effects. When the asteroid struck, it unleashed a magnitude 11 earthquake, an unprecedented force no human has ever experienced. The ground didn't merely shake, it roared with violent intensity. Shockwaves rippled through the planet, rattling continents and oceans alike, sending tremors so powerful they could be felt on the opposite side of the globe. The seismic energy compounded the devastation, toppling landscapes, flattening forests, and amplifying the global catastrophe far beyond the initial blast site, affecting life across Earth. There was truly no escape. Multiple shockwaves radiated outward, many powerful enough to level entire forests across thousands of miles. The initial blast sent a shockwave racing at over 600 miles per hour, 966 kilometers, obliterating vegetation and tossing any unlucky dinosaurs in the vicinity miles from their original locations. The combined force of these waves ensured that the devastation extended far beyond the immediate impact site, leaving a landscape of utter destruction and chaos across the surrounding regions. Following the impact, vast amounts of molten rock rained from the sky, scorching everything in its path and igniting widespread fires. 15 hours after impact, many of the largest waves generated by the asteroid were refracted around South Africa, yet numerous waves still reached towering heights over 300 feet, 91 meters. Meanwhile, the vast quantities of debris and molten material ejected into the atmosphere could not remain aloft indefinitely. While some fragments traveled far enough to escape Earth entirely, much of the material plummeted back to the surface. This raining debris, superheated from its journey, added to the already catastrophic destruction, igniting fires, flattening landscapes, and compounding the chaos across continents as molten rock and shattered fragments pelted the planet relentlessly. Millions of tons of debris hurtled through the atmosphere, rapidly heating as they descended. The sheer volume of molten rock and fragments didn't merely block sunlight, it superheated the skies. Scientists estimate temperatures soared from hundreds to even thousands of degrees, effectively turning the atmosphere into a global oven. For a brief but deadly moment, the planet's surface was exposed to this searing heat, incinerating anything left in the open and compounding the catastrophic effects of the asteroid's impact on life and the environment. Survival on the surface was impossible. Any creature unable to reach an underground shelter was instantly roasted alive. The superheated atmosphere, combined with raining molten debris, ignited massive forest fires that spread across entire continents, burning uncontrollably for months. The relentless inferno devastated ecosystems, consuming vegetation and wildlife alike, leaving vast regions charred and lifeless. Impact Day was a true apocalypse, ending the dinosaurs' 165 million year reign. This catastrophic event closed the Cretaceous period and the Mesozoic era, paving the way for the Cenozoic era, a new chapter in Earth's history where life would slowly recover and evolve in the aftermath of mass extinction. One day after impact, animals and plants that survived the initial blast now confronted a slower, relentless disaster. Over hours, days, and weeks, they endured starvation and the collapse of ecosystems as the planet's once thriving habitats deteriorated, leaving survivors struggling to find food, shelter, and the means to endure a radically changed world. Wildfires sent soot and smoke into the sky, spreading globally and creating a thick sun-blocking shroud. Within hours, daylight disappeared, plunging the planet into darkness. Without sunlight, plants perished, leading herbivorous dinosaurs to starve, followed by the carnivores that depended on them. A sulfuric acid haze enveloped the skies, dropping temperatures by over 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius. Ocean plankton populations were decimated, collapsing the marine food chain and threatening the survival of countless aquatic species that relied on these tiny organisms for sustenance. Months after impact, Earth transformed into a hostile wasteland with darkened skies, freezing temperatures, acid rain, and poisoned water. Small mammals survived by burrowing underground, while dinosaurs, already weakened by climate change and volcanic activity, now faced total extinction in a rapidly deteriorating environment that could no longer sustain their massive populations. several thousand years after impact. The dinosaurs had vanished, leaving only small mammals, mostly the size of raccoons. Vegetation began to recover, dominated by flowering plants, providing new food sources. Freed from giant predators, these surviving mammals quickly diversified, evolving to fill the ecological niches left vacant by the extinction of the massive prehistoric creatures. 100,000 years after impact, new species kept emerging, adapting to the transformed environments. Mammals thrived, helping restore ecosystems. While dinosaurs weren't completely extinct, their descendants survived as birds, carrying forward a lineage that would persist and evolve alongside the rising dominance of mammals in the post-impact world. 15 million years after impact, Earth entered the Oligocene epoch, a period marked by the emergence and spread of large mammals, though none approached the immense size of the dinosaurs. The asteroid had effectively reset evolution. Over time, mammals and birds gradually increased in size and diversity, ultimately paving the way for a new dominant species to arise: humans. Primates, early rabbits, and ancestral carnivores existed before the asteroid impact and managed to survive it. While humans didn't coexist with dinosaurs in a Flintstone-style scenario, our evolutionary lineage traces back to before that catastrophic day, meaning the roots of modern mammals, including humans, were already present long before the dinosaurs' extinction, 66 million years after impact. The age of dinosaurs ended in a cataclysm, paving the way for mammals and ultimately humans to dominate the planet. Had the asteroid not struck the Yucatan Peninsula 66 million years ago, reshaping life on Earth, it's likely that humans as we know them would never have existed. Modern humans have existed for just 0.1% of the time that dinosaurs dominated Earth. In that brief span, we've achieved remarkable feats from exploring space to splitting the atom. But the day the dinosaurs died reminds us that no species' long-term survival is ever guaranteed, no matter its accomplishments. The lesson from the day the dinosaurs died is clear. No species, no matter how dominant, can ever be certain of long-term survival. Catastrophic events can change the course of life on Earth in an instant.